Hello and welcome to the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club with 4 race starts. We're going to start with our Category 4 riders, then 3, 2 and 1. Our riders lined up in yellow, that is our Category 1 riders. In green, our Category 2. In blue, Category 3 and Category 4 riders.
That is an absolute sprint effort out of the gate today for a race. Geralda Ayers goes for an absolute flyer off the front, and she's continuing that high power. This race field in Category 1 has been split apart by this first ascent of Mount Pleasant. We have whittled this group down to 6 riders. Antico is not out of this race. Antico is tactically waiting for this Category 1 field to pick her up and carry her through. Great catch there by Ayers in terms of getting into that group and staying there. Even if she just takes a tow for a short period of time, you can see she's benefiting from that draft. We have got Category 1 lead pack, Category 2 lead pack, and the Category 3 lead pack, all in this large group. Garioni is going, Estrada is there, so is Bauer. Can Bauer come back from this? Can Estrada win it? Can Bauer? Garioni. But I think it's Estrada. Estrada, I think, who takes that. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world today, and welcome to the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. My name is Emma Martin, and I'm here bringing you all of the action on the January final. So last week we saw our qualifier number 4 headed to Australia, to Wollongong. This week, the final heads to Arabia. The Arabia world has been revamped, and that's where our women head to today. So the course our women race today, 35 kilometres of distance, 904 metres of elevation. And it is a mountaintop finish today, a Category 1 climb, 10.43 kilometres in length, with an average gradient of 6.5% and a mountaintop finish today. The first 5 kilometres of the race course today are fairly flat, and then we enter a rolling section before at 25k we come to the final part of the course today, that Category 1 climb. So 7 segments along the way today to give us some heads up into how the racing and how the team competition in today's final is looking. So our 4 race categories today to the start line are Category 4, Category 3, Category 2 and Category 1 women lined up, as you can see there, and waiting, warming up for their 4 different individual race starts. So our Category 4 riders will be the first ones to take to the course, followed by our Category 3, our Category 2, and then with 17 minutes 20 seconds still on that start clock, our Category 1 riders. So our Category 4 field today, those indeed are our red jersey wearers, with 2 minutes still to go on that start line. The field is a strong field today. Diego is in there with Fernanda and Hyde. 9 riders in the top 5 positions throughout January. So we've seen strength and depth across the field. The team competition today in Category 4, we have Fire Girls. We have Colombian Kiwis and Better Than Yesterday. And this are stacked teams. So Colombian Kiwis, Vink, Agudela, Hyde and Fernanda. An absolutely storming team, Better Than Yesterday, Koking, Tannigan, Diego. Barco, Ossa and Gallego. For Fire Girls was Geraldo and Sarah Sook as well. So the 3 teams in this competition will be absolutely fighting it out for the order they come across that line in. 1, 2 and 3 really at the moment is a completely open race field. So 12 riders in total taking to the start today across those 3 teams. And just as a reminder, the winners of our December final that was in Wollongong was Fernanda, Vink in 2, Hyde in 3, Agudela in 4 and Diego in 5. So let's see what the racing brings us in Arabia today. So as the women line up for the start of the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club, we are here for the January finals, and the warm-up for our Category 4 riders is now complete. They are sat on the start line with the clock ticking down. So these riders are our first category underway today on the January MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club final. As the clock ticks down and the power goes up, this category 4 group move out from the start banner to the roundabout, and they take that right-hand bend, that left-hand sweep, and head out onto the Arabia course today. So this 35-kilometre course that faces this MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club today, the first 5 kilometres are pretty flat, leading to a large group probably staying together, and we will maybe not see too many attacks as we roll off this, but Agudelo just leading the pace out here with Hyde and ensuring that this group move off this start line and that the momentum picks up and the KPH rolls high. So at around just shy of 40 kph at this moment, this group have moved really strongly off this start line. This group are pushing on, and they're pushing on well. Agudelo is moving with Hyde, Tandigan, Fernanda. You know, these riders are the riders we would expect to see here. Barco Ossa is in this group, but it is indeed Agudelo who's just stretching her legs off the front here. You know, just 1 minute of racing under the belt, and Agudelo is just pushing on. And I would very much expect to see that this group becomes a very comfortable group in the not too distant future as they continue to move around this roundabout and well into this race course today. So Agudelo leading this group out, Hyde in 2, Tandingen in 3. Giraldo is there as well. This is the chase group behind, just a couple of seconds now stretching for Agudelo in terms of stretching her legs at the start of this race, has just given herself a little gap to back to that group, but that group all moving well and all moving strongly, and very likely Agudelo to be swept up very shortly as they move through downtown. Four riders are the first start today on our January final for the Sunday Race Club. Our other 3 categories are still sat on the start line, finishing their warm-ups and waiting for the start banners to go down. So Tanningen just coming across here as we cross the bridge, closing the gap to Agudelo. Barco Ossa just there as well. In fact, just snowballing a little over the top. Ella Vink, Giraldo, Hyde, just in that group behind. So actually what we've now seen are those 2 riders come across. So Barco Ossa and Tandingen come across there to Agudelo. So 3 riders just clear at the moment off of this main group, but those 3 riders just got a couple of seconds, and this main group not panicking, not looking to respond particularly strongly, but just slowly closing that gap as this group all now start to come back together on this race course. So our category 4 riders are underway, and we can see our category 1, category 2 and category 3 riders all still in those start pens awaiting their start today. So the warm-ups now complete for our category 3 riders in those blue jerseys. Our category 3 riders today, we have 14 riders on the start sheets today and 4 teams. We have Pink Power, the Lionesses, Climate Girls and Team Golden Light now. Climate Girls looking exceptionally strong with Ribaldo, Barco and Lopez in there. But let's not forget the Lionesses with Illustra, Cabatan and Giuliano in there too. So some real strong riders in these category 3 teams and looking very much to contend that top team position today. So a strong race field here in this category 3 race, both in the teams and in the individual competition. And let's remember for the finals, both individual top 5 prizes and team category prizes as well. So our category 3 riders in the start pen currently awaiting the start. It was Ribaldo from Barker, from Cabaton, Lopez and Giuliano in the December final who took that top 5. Who will do that in the January final today? So with 10 seconds on the clock, we are in with Giuliano. Giuliano sat here, turning the legs, awaiting that countdown to push those Watson to take a good start. And away these riders go on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club January final today. These category 3 riders are kicking off the start. The power has gone down. They are not pushing as hard as we saw earlier. It's not such a fast start, but these riders all moving through and moving through strongly as they turn onto the main course today. So Golden Light leading this group out of the start line today on the Sunday Race Club. This category 3 blue jersey race underway well and truly as Golden Light wants to take this pace up and take this pace up high really early on. The pace already over 40 kilometers an hour. This first 5K pretty flat as they transition onto the tarmac. One or two riders just having to push on there to ensure that they make the back of that group, because this group are going to move fast and they are going to roll smoothly through these flat first 5K. So Agudelo Arrayas in here on the front, and we're just seeing the back of this group. It is Cadena who is at the back of this group, just 15 seconds gap now to the main group. So a challenging start there for Cadena. Cadena not quite making the pace to get onto that group and to stay in that large group. So the rest of the riders all clearly in this group indeed. So Apple Garcia in here in this pack. Ochoa is in here. Illustra, Lopez are in here. Ribaldo is in here. The riders that we have seen week in, week out racing strongly. Fioroni is in here as well. Now, these riders in this group moving well now at a good, strong pace. A little further down the road, we have the front end of this Category 4 race, and it is looking like that early pace indeed in this Category 4 race from Agudelo, Tandingen and Barco Ossa has really broken up this Category 4 race. So at 4.2 kilometres of racing in this Category 4 race, it is looking like Agudelo is pushed on. Tandingen and Barco Ossa are the two riders chasing here. And then it's looking like it's 15 seconds back to the actual group in this race that has Geraldo, Vink, Fernanda in it. Now, those are class riders, and we have seen week in, week out, those riders finish in the top 5. So a small chase group here and a tight chase group here, led by Geraldo and Vink. So Vink and Geraldo pushing on, a tight group, moving well, but 3 riders down the road early in this race today in this Category 4 field. So back in with our Category 3 riders. We're seeing a tight group here all together as we are moving through the early stages of this course today. So in this group, we've got Ochoa, we've got Barco, we've got Cabaton, we've got Quintero, we've got Lopez, we've got Zabala. Ochoa is in here. Strong riders in this field, and we are expecting a lot of action probably in the later stages of this race. So our Category 1 and Category 2 riders still in the start pens, turning their legs. A little bit longer for warm-up for our Category 1 riders, but our Category 2 riders today are the next riders to take to the start gates. So our Category 2 riders in those green jerseys. So we have 22 riders on the start sheets today, 6 teams. The endurance team, Team RT's Cycle Zone Ladies 1, Whooshers, we've got Magic Wheels, we've got Strong Girls, and we've got Tri Women now. Tri Women, Cordero, Lantani, Sinelli, Pardini, really strong riders. The endurance team, Cerna, Reynard, Sanchez. You know, there are other really strong riders, the Strong Girls, Paris, Sanchez, Hermerson. This again is going to be a strong team competition as well as a strong individual race in Category 3. Now, in our December finals, it was Sinelli who took the win from Cerna, from Julie Sanchez, from Kokkonen and Reynard. Now, those riders all in this field today, and we are looking forward to a fast and furious January final from our very strong Category 2 women. So we're in with Para just spinning her legs at the moment and waiting for this start to take place. The countdown is on and the riders are prepped and ready, and the watts are starting to go through those pedals ready for this start as the start gate banner goes down, and away go our Category 2 women on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club January final. So Para and the group, Hamas and Fernanda, Sinelli, Jadlock turn that corner as they head towards this course. And they come up to the junction. The junction is taking the right-hand bend as they sweep round in a large pack. Barragan takes them round. Para now leading. Sinelli is in there and Jadlock. And that whole group and the whole race field look to have had a clean start. They are away, they are riding, and they are moving well. So our Category 2 race field is underway. They are moving strongly at over 30 kph as they transition off the wooden bridge onto the tarmac as that group now start to push, and they start to push strongly into that sweeping left-hand bend as the pace rolls high. They're continuing to move strongly, and they are moving as one large group. So Montoya is in here with Sinelli and Olsen, Tijeros. Manuela Sanchez is in here as well as Julie Sanchez. We also have Lantari, Pardini, Hermassen. These riders all really strong. Kokkonen as well. Lanteri, Barragan is in here, Montoya. Strong riders, and at the moment this pack very happy to move as one comfortable large group through the early stages of this race today. So a little further down the race field, we can see coming up to 4 kilometres into this race, this is our Category 3 race field. Our Category 3 race field altogether, bar one rider who missed that group early on. So we've got a large group here of this Category 3 field further down the road from our Category 2 race field who have just started and are just underway. Now, 2.3 kilometres separating these two race fields. So this group of Category 3 riders, 2.3k further down the course. Both groups moving really strongly, and both groups large and sustained pace moving on here with a large group and a large number of riders still in each of these groups. Now a steady state and a steady state start, because these large groups will roll fast, and indeed 35, 36 kph coming out of this group at the moment in these early stages. So currently in with Kokkonen. Kokkonen currently 147 watts, just shifted from black to green. Now, the green watt numbers indicating that Kokkonen, the rider, is indeed in the draft, tightly in the pack, and that is one of the benefits of such a large pack today. Now, the final climb today does not come until we hit the 25 kilometre mark. The first 5k of this course are fairly flat, and then we see some rolling undulations within the course before we transition into that final Category 1 climb today. So 3 of our 4 race fields underway and on the course today. Groups on the road and rolling well and fast. Now our Category 1 riders in those yellow jerseys are on that start line waiting the banner. So we have 26 riders on the start sheets today for our Category 1 riders, and 5 teams taking to those yellow jerseys. So tomorrow cycling, Spartan Obstacles, Las Colombianas, the Fusion Squad, and Crank Sisters. And Crank Sisters, what a strong team with Garioni, Sanchez, Bauer, and Oliveri. But let's not forget Spartan Obstacles, because Fur is in there with Menenzes, Quevedo, and Brogan. Estrada and Ortiz, Del Rocco are in tomorrow cycling. So again, a great team competition to look forward to. So the December final in Category 1 was won by Ortiz from Marin, Brogan, Manshandi and Menenzes. They were indeed in Wollongong. Now, it wasn't a mountain finish in December. It is a mountain finish today. And let's see whether that mountain finish shakes up that order and that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're in with Estrada as we are awaiting the banner to go down. And the power goes on, and away go our Category 1 race field on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club January final today. So Estrada pushes on as the watts go down and the riders take these right-hand bends to move out on the start pens onto the course today. We are in Arabia with a mountaintop finish, and this field are swooping around these right-hand bends, having dropped one rider already from the start. So the main pack of Category 1 women here on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club continue to push across the wooden bridge here. Couple of riders just getting distanced now early into this start because the pace is driven up and the momentum is high. 40 kph from this pack at the moment as they are rolling fast out onto this course. This is flat pretty much for the first 5 kilometers today, and the pace this pack will move at should stay high. So Fua is in here with Estrada, Bauer, Brogan, Menenzes, Moreno. Julie Sanchez is in here as well. These riders all strong. Quevedo is in here too. We have got also on this start sheets today, Gilson is in here too, Oliveri, Del Rocco, Bardescaya. Strong riders turning out for the January finals. So the pace is staying high and this group are rolling strongly. This group are continuing to maintain this fast kph 40, 41, 37. It's hanging around that 40 kph mark as this group is pushing on, and it's wide across the road and it's full of strong riders today. So it's going to be really interesting to see what tactics get played out today by this Category 1 group. Are we going to see any action here from this group before we hit that Category 1 climb? Or are we going to see this group leave it to that Category 1 climb and leave it to the climbers today who can sustain that pace for 15 minutes or so? So Gemma Brogan, one of our really strong riders throughout January, sat comfortably in that pack and taking a good strong toe and in the draft. And that is the benefit indeed of such a large group today. So the ability to stay in that draft, the ability to have an easier ride as we move through the early stages of this race today. So a little bit further down the road, our leading group of riders on the road today are indeed our Category 4 riders. So our Category 4 race field has indeed already been split. They are at 9.6 kilometers into this race, and this is the chasing group that we are looking at the moment. We saw Tandingen go clear with Agudelo, and we saw a chasing group coming behind. Now, it's looking like that chasing group is riding really strongly with Vink and Hyde, etc. in there. But the Category 1 race field now is coming up to the start of the first segment. So those blue banners indicating the 7 segments on our course today, both the start and the finish of each of the segments marked by those blue banners. So our Category 1 field now on segment 1. Segment 1 is a 1 kilometre segment that will indeed give us an indication of not just what is happening within this Category 1 race field, but it will also give us times and updates between the categories. And it also allows us to look later at those team competitions. So category 1 on the left-hand side of your screen at 2.3 kilometers. Category 2 on the right-hand side of your screen, 5.2k into their race. And it's looking like we've got an attack from Jenny Sanchez at the moment in that category 2 race field. But it's a large group of riders not very far back who are doing the chasing. So Sanchez putting in a little bit of a dig there. But Fernanda and Olsen are the riders pulling that pack back. That pack is probably going to come back onto Jenny Sanchez's wheel in not too far a distance. We've seen a little bit of a gap come back with a rider looking like they're dropping off the group as we speak. But as that gradient starts to change, that rider just concertinaing back into that group. So Sanchez out in 1, Olsen, Tijeros, Lantari, Fernanda, Jenny Tan all comfortably in this chasing group, reeling back in Sanchez. So as we drop back in with our category 1 group, they are just about to come up to that blue banner indicating the end of segment number 1. So our category 1 riders, Gilson putting a little bit of a dig in there, just coming up and through that banner. As Gilson digs on the front, we're seeing Gonzalez Ruiz, the rider, chasing behind. But indeed, taking a look at that, it's a really mixed group of riders in terms of the pace they are moving at. So indeed, Lantari, one of our category 2 riders, taking the fastest time through that segment in 1 minute 35 seconds. Gilson, the rider who attacked that category 1 group during that segment, awarded the second fastest time. But look at that, it's then a group of category 2 riders who take 3rd through to 7th, quicker than that lead group of category 1 riders. So not much time separating our category 1 and category 2 riders here. Now, let's remember our category 2 riders did indeed start this race 5 minutes before our category 1 riders. So by maintaining a consistent pace, there is more of a chase in the latter stages for these category 1 riders to do. So Gilson continuing to kick on the front of this category 1 race, wanting to stretch this pace out. We're starting to see Gonzalez Rua just come over. Indeed, Quevedo comes over too, and Bauer is on the front of the group. If you take a look at the graphic on the top right-hand corner of your screen, you can see that category 1 pack concertina. They stretch, they come back together, they stretch, they come back together, and it gives you a really good indication of what is actually happening on this race field as we look at it in front of us. So Gilson in 1, 2 seconds back to Gonzalez, Rua and Quevedo, Sanchez, Ortiz, Marin, all those riders now in that group even further back on the road. So this little kick from Gilson just stretching these riders and just causing a little bit of shift amongst that group. Now, Pack 2 and Pack 3, they're now all coming back together again. So Gilson out in 1 and Bauer leading the pack with Garioni and Fua and Brogan pulling that pack back to catch Gilson. So just down the road, we're seeing something very similar happen in that category 2 race, because Jenny Sanchez has still maintained that lead. That pack have not caught Sanchez yet. So Sanchez, like Gilson, stretching that group and just riding off the front of that pack. So Gilson in 1 with 2 seconds back to this chase group, but Gonzalez, Rua, Marin, Bauer, Moreno are the riders now pulling that group back, and they're pulling back towards Gilson. So Gilson putting in a small leg tester there, but the group go over the top as they move into the start of the next segment, segment number 2, coming between 5 and 6 kilometers. It is another 1 kilometer segment, and this group moving strongly into it and all back together again. So after an attack from Gilson, we are seeing this category 1 race field all come back together again. We are just over 5 kilometers race distance as we start to move into the more rolling part of this course. I say the more rolling part, the majority of this climb, in fact, over 3/4 of the climb in today's race comes in that final category 1 climb, which starts at 25 kilometers into this 35-kilometer race. And it is indeed a mountain top finish. the black and white checkered flag will face the riders at the top of that Category 1 climb today. So as our Category 1 pack sweeps around this roundabout, they take the turning and they move out and across the bridge as this group continues to ride as one tight group at the moment. They are moving now into a more rolling terrain where the possibility of putting a dig in on a climb is more of an obvious tactic and something that may well start to lose riders off the back of this group. So underneath that blue banner is indeed the end of segment banner, and that is segment number 2. So segment number 2, another 1 kilometre segment in this race, and indeed another really interesting set of results. So let's just take in a look at this. We're seeing our large group come through there. Garioni taking the lead in that segment with 1 minute 36. Giraldo, Brogan, Gonzalez Ruiz, Oliveri, Biarhead, Menendez, Moreno, Ortiz, Fua, Bauer, Marin, and the rest of the riders in that group all coming in within half a second of each other, indicating just how tight that group is on the road. Indeed, 19 riders in that lead group in that Category 1 race, all coming through that segment within a second of each other. So 19 riders in that Category 1 lead group. Then we've got our Category 2 riders behind, and the pace is still high in that Category 2 pack, putting in a time only 2 to 3 seconds slower than our Category 1 race field. So our Category 1 riders continuing to ride as a group of 19 riders here, but actually we're now looking back at this Category 2 field. Sanchez had gone down the road and Sanchez is still clear. Sanchez is still down the road at 4 seconds, but Olsen has pushed on and is trying to bridge the gap now from the pack to Sanchez, because Sanchez's gap on the group is now coming up to 20 seconds. So Morgane Olsen has decided that Jenny Sanchez is not having this race all her own way and has taken the initiative to take the brave move from this chase group to transition over to Sanchez. And Olsen is pushing on and she's pushing hard to make the catch to Sanchez. So Fernanda Montoya Lanteri to Geros are the riders sat behind in that Category 2 chasing group. Gutierrez is there as well with Reynard and Kokkonen, strong riders who we've seen in the top 5 in the Category 2 race, but they are now 15 seconds back. Sanchez and Olsen are 2 leading riders in this Category 2 field as Olsen comes up onto the back of Sanchez's wheel and makes the transition from the group to the lead with Sanchez. So Sanchez and Olsen are 2 leading Category 2 riders with a 15-second gap back now to the chasing group. In our Category 1 race, we still have 19 riders in this lead group. All of the riders we would expect to see are in here. Bauer is in here, Del Rocchio, Estrada, Sanchez, Brogan, Marin, Giraldo, Oliveri, Fua, Biarhead. These riders are riding well. They are riding as a tight pack and riding strongly together. They just nip under that start banner for segment number 3, indicating that these riders are at 8 kilometres now into this 35-kilometre race. This is our last 1 kilometre segment that comes early in this race. So as we just take a look through the race field a little bit further up ahead here, this is one of our Category 3 back markers. So one of our Category 3 back markers here as we are taking a look through this field. So just off the back of that group, as we see further down the road at the front of the Category 2 race, Olsen and Sanchez are now into the tunnels under the sea. So at 10.77 kilometers, Olsen and Sanchez are working well together. They've now got 16 seconds on the chase group behind, and the chase group behind containing Lantari, Kokkonen and Reynard. Now, these riders are 2.2 kilometers ahead of our lead group in the Category 1 race. And our lead group in that Category 1 race, still 19 riders strong. But Olsen and Sanchez pushing on and continuing to work hard to stay away from that Category 2 field. So Gilson goes again. We're seeing another little attack and another little push on the legs from Rebecca Gilson. She's continuing to want to keep these riders awake in this group and to just push on that pace as we see them come through that banner indicating the end of segment number 3. So interesting to see. It is indeed Sanchez and Olsen are leading Category 2 riders. That attack off the front of that Category 2 race has given them the fastest time through that segment. So through that 1 kilometer segment, Sanchez and Olsen in 1 and 2. Then it is our pack of Category 1 riders. They are 2 to 3 seconds behind the time set by Sanchez and Olsen. So Gilson, Marin, Gonzalez, Rua, Sanchez, Estrada, Fua, Garioni, Bauer, Brogan and Ortiz, all in that group. But that attack off the front of Category 2 race field has indeed set the fastest times through segment number 3. Now this pack have all come back together again. It was indeed Rebecca Gilson who just put a little bit of a push into those legs to stretch this field a little bit through that segment. But the group coming back together again. We are starting now to move into the more rolling sections. There's a short climb coming up here, and we are indeed seeing one rider just getting distance there off the back of that group. In fact, it is Bjarhed at the moment who is the rider in danger on that group. We've got a number of riders now separated here, but Bjarhed is the rider with challenges at the moment. Oliveri and Brogan are at the back of this group with Estrada. It's just being pushed on at the front here. We've got Quevedo's in here, Bauer and Garioni, Moreno, Gilson. These riders towards the front of this group. In fact, it's Jojo, Bauer and Gilson and Garioni that are making some pushes and making some waves here and just stretching this group. Now, the gradient is just starting to climb, but as we can see on the left-hand side of your screen, it is Tandingen who is the rider leading this race on the road. So our Category 4 rider, the Category 4 was the first race field to start today. Tandingen at 16.97k, coming up the 17 kilometers of this 35k race done. She is the rider leading this race out. She's leading the Category 4 race and is currently the rider on the lead on the road today. So just over 6.5 kilometers behind, Rebecca Gilson pushes on again. Gilson is making the most of this short climb as she comes up past De Gracia, who is at the back of that Category 2 field. So Gilson goes past, and Bauer is the rider to respond with Quevedo in here as well. Julie, Sanchez and Fua and Moreno also pushing on at the front of that field as the field stretch, as the gradient just starts to drop a little, expecting that group to concertina back together again. But Gilson comes off of that pace as the group come up to her, and they've gone past that Category 2 rider. So Category 1 race field now starting to pick off the back markers from the Category 2 race. They have made the catch now and are starting to work their way through that Category 2 race field. This group of 19 riders still all together again here, and we can see now just under 2 kilometers down this race route, Olsen and Sanchez are our two riders still out front, but they've got riders chasing and riders chasing hard, because the gap back now to Lantari and Reynard is only 3 seconds. So fantastic riding from the chase group behind as Lantari and Reynard are coming across now to Olsen to get onto that back wheel with Olsen and Sanchez and form a group of 4. In fact, Conan is actually leading the rest of that group through, and you can see that group now spread right back across the road. In fact, it's likely that some more of this group is now going to come together, and we are going to see a larger pack leading this Category 2 race. So Sanchez had made the attack. Olsen had gone across the gap, but they'd had 20 seconds back to the chase group. But the chase group have worked, and they've worked really hard, because Lansari is coming across here with Reynard, and it is going to form a lead group of 4 riders in this Category 2 race. Kekkonen is leading the chase behind. Kekkonen is leading that group with Burano Cerna as well, and Cerna part and parcel of that chase with Para. They really want to bring those 2 groups back together again, but currently we've got 4 riders clear in this Category 2 race. So back in with our Category 1 riders, and Rebecca Gilson is on the front of the group. She's not putting an attack in, but she is indeed leading that group out. They are now into these tunnels and this climbing segment. In fact, about 50 seconds down the road, Tan, one of the Category 2 riders, will be the next rider they see on the road, as Bauer, Garioni, Gilson, Del Rocchio, Ortiz all moving comfortably here at the front of this group. Now, this group still with a large number of riders in it, 18 riders at last count, moving well and moving strongly. We've seen a couple of stretches of the legs from Gilson, but nothing that has stuck, as we see another kick off the front of this Category 1 group, and it is indeed Rebecca Gilson again. So Gilson kicking at 7 watts per kilo. Quevedo is the rider responding behind. Bauer is responding as well, pulling Del Rocco and Garioni with her. It is Gilson still pushing on. She's still pushing and still stretching, seeing if she can kick 1 or 2 more riders out of this group with this push of her power. So Gilson pushes on those pedals, and she's stretching this group behind. We're seeing a little bit more damage being done to this group with another rider dropping off the back. But the main part of this group still pushing on to close the gap to Gilson. But 1 rider is the damage Gilson has done with this kick. So Gilson pushing on here with this Category 1 race, and we can see across the screen here we've still got a lead group of 4 riders in Category 2, 2 riders taking the lead in Category 3, and a lone rider in Tandingen in our Category 4 race. Indeed, Tandingen, the lead rider, still on the race today. So our Category 4 riders were the first riders to start. Our Category 1 riders, the last riders to take to the start line. And this is our Category 2 green jersey race that we have just taken a look at. It's still a pack, but we are seeing an attack from Garioni here. Gilson has gone with her. Garioni is making the most of this attack from Gilson. She'd gone over the top. Gilson just coming alongside. Bauer, Brogan, Oliveri and Moreno are the riders responding behind, but Garioni and Gilson have now got a couple of seconds, but Bauer and Brogan are not going to let this stick, because they are going to want to take this into that final climb. Strong climbers and strong racers. So Brogan and Bauer are the 2 riders doing the work. Oliveri is pulling along too, with Menendez and Quevedo. Marin and Del Rocca are in there as well. Now, what are we going to see? Are we going to see Brogan and Bauer catch Gilson and Garioni and go clear as a group of 4? Or are we going to see this all come back together again? Now, these attacks are taking place on this downhill segment, and as this segment transitions to flatter lands and a less steep gradient, are we going to see that have some impact on the racing? But Garioni has kicked again, and Garioni has gone clear of Gilson. Gilson looks to be waiting for Brogan and Bauer, but Garioni is making the most of that, and she's kicked hard on this downhill segment. So Garioni continues to kick at 5 watts per kilo, going clear of this Category 1 race field before we get to half race distance today. So Garioni kicking. We've now got a chase group, and that chase group is Bauer, Gilson and Brogan. That is an elite chasing squad. Brogan, Bauer and Gilson. a little bit further back down the road, we have the larger pack of Category 1 riders. Quevedo is in there, Sanchez, Moreno, Menendez. Again, strong riders in this Category 1 field. Now, I would imagine we've got a large number of the riders in this pack waiting for that final climb and expecting the positions to be made on that final climb. But Garioni has taken the bull by the horns and has decided the race is not going to wait until that Category 1 climb. Garioni responded to Gilson's attacks as Bauer and Brogan and Gilson now come across to Garioni. In fact, Moreno is kicking out 11 watts per kilo from the chase pack because at 4 seconds, they really do not want these 4 to go away, because this is an elite group of 4 riders. And if that group of 4 riders go away, no one is going to catch them. So Moreno putting in a sprint effort to close this gap. So Moreno's sprint effort pulling back that group of 4 riders. And in fact, Moreno going clear from that chase group, who are all over the road now. So Moreno closing the gap now on this group of 4. Does she make it a group of 5? And does that gap now stay to that chase group? So 4 become 5 in this Category 1 race on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club January final, as Moreno closes the gap from the chase group to the attack. So Jojo Bauer, Liliana Moreno, Gemma Brogan, Rebecca Gilson and Garioni are the riders clear. 5 riders clear now of this Category 1 race. Just under 2 kilometres down the road, our Category 2 race continues as these riders head under this banner now. They have just gone under the banner of segment number 4, the Finnish banner of segment number 4, and look at that. This Category 1 race has been lit alight during that segment. So Moreno, Bauer, Brogan and Garioni, those 4 riders setting that fastest time. Gilson in there as well, Ortiz, Fua, Quevedo, Del Rocchio, Estrada, all in that top 10. But the time gaps are now significant. Look at that, 8 seconds back to Estrada through that 3 kilometre segment. So the push by that front group to light up that Category 1 race really evident in that segment times. So we can also start to see the teams there as well. Las Colombianas, Crank Sisters, Spartan Obstacles, Tomorrow Cycling, all part and parcel of those fastest times and in that top 15. So all those teams really strongly and competitive in that team's competition. So the lead group of 5 riders now in our Category 1 race at 17, just over 17 kilometres now. The lead group in our Category 2 race are just over 1 kilometre down the road. So the lighting up of the touch paper by Gilson and Garioni in this Category 1 race is bringing that distance down between our Category 1 field and our Category 2 field as Garioni kicks again. Garioni really does not want to take anybody with her. Garioni has got the bull between her horns and she is really fighting for this win in this Category 1 race today. Heading past Jadlock in that Category 2 field, and Barragan is the next Category 2 rider ahead. Gilson responding to Garioni, Moreno, Brogan and Bauer going too, but they've just flown past our Category 2 rider Jadlock as though Jadlock was standing still. So Garioni, Gilson, Bauer, Moreno, Brogan, these 5 riders are clear now of the chasing pack of Category 1 riders. The next rider they have got in their sights up the road is Barragan. Barragan is one of our Category 2 riders. And then they've got a Category 4 rider coming up to them indeed. And that will be Paolo. So the lead group of Category 1 riders now working their way through the back markers of Category 2, 3 and 4. And as we head over to the front of that Category 2 race on the left-hand side of your screen, the pack is all coming back together again. It's a really strong group of riders with Sin, Olsen and Sanchez go clear. Lantari, Hermason is back there. Tejeros is back. Olsen is back. Kokkonen is back. These riders here, it's a strong group, and it's great to see these riders come back together again. This group is now working really well together. This group of Category 2 riders are out. They are about 1.2 kilometres ahead of the lead group in that Category 1 race. So we've got a slightly larger lead group in our Category 2 race than we have in our Category 1 race. Our Category 1 group was 19 riders. It went to 18, it went to 17, and then we saw some attacks. We now have 5 riders clear in this Category 1 race. So Bauer, Moreno, Gary Oni, Gilson and Brogan are the 5 riders clear in this Category 1 race. They are picking their way through the Category 2, 3 and 4 race fields now, with Paolo and Zabala and Montoya, the riders up the road from them, that they will start to see and they will start to chase. So if you are watching the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club, our January finals today, next week we start again in February with qualifier number 1. It's a perfect time to join us. If you have not raced with us before, head over to the MyWhoosh website. Take a look under the events page and read what you need to around the Sunday Race Club. The rule set is there, the technical guide is there, and there is also some frequently asked questions. Get yourself on the start line. You will need to register at least 12 hours before the event starts. So Bauer, Gary Oni and Gilson here pushing on. Moreno is in here as well, and Brogan. 5 riders clear in our Category 1 race. Further down the race field, further down the road, we've got our Category 3 lead pack as well. So Lopez is in here with Quintero, Golden Light, Cabanatan, Illustra is in here as well. This is a good, strong group of Category 3 riders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I see. 7, 8 riders from Category 3 in here. We've also got a strong group of Category 4 riders. Vink, Fernanda and Hyder in here as well. Catching a toe from these because we've got 2 riders in our Category 2 race further down the road. And that is Tandingen, who is our lead rider on the road today, and indeed Agudelo as well. So this group of Category 4 riders who are hitching a toe with our Category 3 riders are 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th in that Category 4 race. Now, the tactical advantage of being able to stay with this Category 3 group and allow them to tow them to those 2 lead riders, Agudelo and Tandingen, gives great benefit to these riders here. So we've got the lead of this Category 3 race with a group of Category 4 riders sitting tight and taking a tow. 3 kilometres back down the race course, we have the lead of our Category 1 race. We've got 5 riders clear at the moment as Bauer, Brogan, Gary, Oni, Gilson are in here. The gap now is a minute. The gap is a minute back to our chase group, and it's Oliveri who is at the front of that chase group. But this group of 5 riders have now put a minute gap in to the rest of that Category 1 race field. So we can see the damage that minute has done, and it is about 800 metres separating the chasing group on the left-hand side of your screen from the lead group of 5 in this Category 1 race field. And no one seems to be wanting to cross that gap, or no one seems to be wanting to really push that pack on in that chase field. But we're seeing a strong group of riders here riding and riding well into the base of that climb, and they've still got 5 kilometres until they hit the base, that Category 1 climb today. that comes at the finish of this women's race. So Del Rioco is in here, Sanchez is in here, Quevedo, Estrada. These are good, strong riders in this Category 1 race. Menezes is in here, Fua, Ortiz. These riders riding well together and riding as a group as they transition now from the race field and race course into the base of that climb. A little further down the road, this is still our group of 5 leading Category 1 riders, and these riders working well together now with that minute gap back to the chase group. The next rider they are going to see on the road is going to be Jose Zabala, one of our Category 3 riders. And just as they sweep around this right-hand bend, they are going to get sight of Zabala, and they are going to come onto the back wheel and head past that Category 3 rider. So segment number 4 complete with those times ahead of us. And we are starting to see those riders continue to come through. In fact, our riders pushing on and pushing on strongly on this race today. So Moreno, Bauer, Brogan, Garioni, Gilson, Ortiz taking segment number 4. Moreno, Bauer, Brogan, Garioni, Gilson taking segment number 5 as well. So that lead group in that Category 1 race repeating what they did in segment 4 and setting the fastest time on segment number 5. Look at the Category 2 race, though. It is indeed the front of that Category 2 race that was strong there, but the chase group of the Category 1 race have just gone through that segment. They are over a minute down on the leading 5 riders, so now surpassing the time of the lead Category 2 pack, Del Rocchio, Marin, Menezes, but they are 26 seconds down on those 5 leading riders on that race field. So our lead group in the Category 1 race, the fastest through segment number 5 as they start to move now with 2.5 kilometers to go before they hit the base of that Category 1 climb. So our next segment on the course today comes at 24 kilometers. It will cover the start and the base of that climb. But as we've got on the screen in front of us, we can start to see the distance now between our Category 1 lead group and our Category 2 lead group. And taking a look at that, we've now got about 650 meters separating these 2 race fields. So 650 meters separating the front of our Category 1 race field, a group of 5 riders who have broken away with our Category 2 race field, which is a strong group at the moment and a large pack of riders rolling into the base of that climb. So they're 1.3 kilometers away from the base of our Category 1 climb, which is the final part of this race course in Arabia today for the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club's Women's January final. So Kekkonen is in this group with Hermassen and Fernanda. This is a big, strong group of riders in this Category 2 race field, and they are pushing on and they are moving, well, 44 kph at the moment as they continue to roll and they continue to push. They've just gone under the start banner of our segment number 6, which is a 2.5 kilometers start segment, and it will see us start that climb. So this group now are pushing on and they will start to roll. The next rider this group will see on this course in front of them is one of our Category 3 riders who are ahead of them, and they will make that catch probably before we see our Category 1 lead pack make the catch into this Category 2 race. Now we've got 5 riders leading this Category 1 race. They are now 450 meters behind that Category 2 lead field as we jump into the front of this race now. So Tandingen is our lead rider on the road today. Tandingen up on the climb, 50 seconds ahead of these riders we are with today. So Illustra is our leading Category 3 rider, and Illustra has indeed caught the rider who is pushing on in our category 4 race. That's our second rider on the road today. That's Agudelo, who has had a storming race in this category 2 field, now trying to really stay and hang on with this category 3 race field as Ribaldo kicks Illustra in 2, Barco in 3, Lopez in 4, Fioroni in 5. This group now on the slopes of the climb as the gradient kicks to 7-8% in these early stages. So Ribaldo pushes on in this category 3 race. Ribaldo now leading this category 3 race and chasing Tandigan, our lead category 4 rider down the road. Illustra, Barco, Fioroni, Lopez and Golden Light all in this group of category 3 riders. So Giuliano here just about to be caught by this category 2 group behind her. Giuliano just being swept up now by this leading group as they go over the top. So Hamasan, Lantari, Olsen, Sanchez, Kokkonen, all still in this group and all still riding strongly now on the foothills of this category 1 climb. So you can see the climb coming, you can see the mountain ahead. You know, this is 10 kilometers of climbing that faces these women at the end of this race today. This category 1 climb has the checkered banner at the top, and these riders are riding strongly as that category 2 lead group pushes on. Our category 1 lead group of riders, 200 meters behind. They are now approaching the foothills of this climb, and they will shortly see that category 2 lead group ahead of them on the road. So Jojo Bauer leading the category 1 race into the foothills of this category 1 climb. 10 kilometers now separating them from the finish banner at the top. So the average gradient on this climb today, 6.5%. It's 10 kilometers of climbing facing these women. Garioni, Bauer, Brogan, Gilson and Moreno are top 5 riders in this race field, in this category 1 yellow jersey pack, pushing on, just going past Giuliano. Giuliano looking like she's staying still on this climb as this race field of these category 1 riders pushes on. So in 15 seconds, they are going to have this category 2 field in their sights. They are not far down the road now as Bauer and Gilson push on at the front of this group. Bauer and Gilson stretching their legs. Garioni and Brogan taking close attention and making sure they're watching what is going on. So the gradient is kicking. It's over 8% at the moment as these riders start to see the back of this category 2 race field. So Cordero is going to be the first rider from the category 2 race field, caught and passed by our leading pack of 5 category 1 riders. So Cordero gets caught, these riders go past. Can Cordero stay in, or will Cordero go straight out the back of this group as they continue to push? It's 10 seconds now separating this group from the rest of that category 2 race field. Kokkonen, Para, they are just up the road. They are now not very far up the road, and they are going to see this pack of leading category 1 riders if they could turn their heads and look behind. So Cordero taking a toe off those lead category 1 riders, and you can see from the shot that's in front of you, our category 2 pack are about to be caught by our category 1 leading group. Now, how many of this pack can stay with them? Can anybody stay with them? Hamasan is in here. Montoya is in here. You know, these are class category 2 riders. Olsen, Lantari, Sinelli, Pardini, Strong riders in our category 2 field, but can they stay with any of our strong riders in this category 1 field? And Gilson's decided she's going past fast. She kicks at 7 watts per kilo to get past that group and to get past that group clear. She's kicked at a perfect timing because there's always some confusion when one group passes another. Garioni has noticed, Garioni has kicked. Bauer is going too. They are going over the top of this category 2 field. So Gilson, Bauer and Garioni riding clear of this pack, going over the top. Gilson continues to kick. She's about to go into the back of the category 4 field. She's about to see Giraldo, and she'll pass Giraldo, and then Fernanda is the next rider in her sights. So it's been frantic and it's been fast, and they've just gone through segment number 6. So it's 2.5 kilometers, and it took us into this climb. And Gilson, Garioni, Bauer, and Brogan all going through within 2 seconds of each other. Moreno a little bit further back, but Moreno pushing on and pushing on hard. So it is indeed the fastest times being set by our top 5 riders in that category 1 race. Now, some strong times being set in our category 3 race because there's still a large group of them and they are still fighting their way for the win in that race, as Bauer, Gilson, Brogan and Garioni have indeed gone over the top of that category 2 pack. They've got a gap. It's only a couple of seconds, but those 4 riders are indeed clear. So 5 riders have become 4. Bauer, Garioni, Gilson and Brogan. This is the group of category 2 riders behind. And we've got Reynard in here, Fernanda in here, Montoya, Kokkonen, Moreno, Tejeros. And in fact, Liliana Moreno is the rider who has been dropped from that lead group of 5 in that category 1 race. And she is there, and she's been dropped from this group as well. The confusion of that catch has really messed around here because this category 2 field has been split as well. Moreno is in the middle, and Olsen has not made the selection for this lead category 2 race field. So a little bit further up the road, we've got our category 3 race field, and it is a scorching race going on here. They have overtaken Tandingen, who was our lead rider on the road for a long time, but our category 3 race pack now. And it's a pack of 8 riders who are the leaders on the road at the moment. They are just under a kilometre off of the category 2 lead race field, and they are 800 metres up ahead of this leading 4 in this category 1 race field. So 800 metres separating our lead 4 riders in this category 1 race field, with the lead riders on the road. Jojo Bauer pushing on here, Gilson, Brogan and Garioni, the riders chasing. So Bauer now taking up the mantle and pushing on this climb. So Bauer pushes as the gradient kicks at 10, 11%. It's coming down quickly as it falls to 5 to 6. Bauer pushing, Brogan responding, Gilson and Garioni all coming, but it's Gilson now pulling the group across with Brogan in 3 and Garioni in 4. So will Gilson go over the top, or will Bauer respond here, or will this group all come together as they're going now into the back and continuing to pick up riders who are getting distance from that category 3 and category 4 race ahead? So Bauer pushing on this climb. We have still got 7 kilometres of racing to go today. This race is not over yet. So Bauer and Brogan pushing on at the front of this race field. A couple of seconds now, with Gilson and Garioni just stretching across those 4 riders, but as the gradients change, the riders come back together again. But we're seeing another kick go off the front there, and that, I would imagine, there has got to be Jojo Bauer, as Jojo Bauer kicks again. And these mountains and this gradient is obviously suiting Bauer today, as Bauer's feeling strong and Bauer is pushing again. Bauer in 1, Garioni in 2, Brogan in 3, Gilson in 4, Brogan pushing at 8 watts per kilo, Gilson pushing at 7. They all want this to come back together again. They don't want Brogan to put a gap. They really do not want a gap into Brogan to distance. So Bauer continues to push, and just up the road, Tandingen, our lead rider in that Category 4 race, will be in their sights shortly. In fact, Bauer now coming up onto Tandingen's wheel. Cabanatan is the next rider, a Category 3 rider that Bauer will pick up. And in fact, Bauer picks up Cabanatan really quickly and goes straight over the top. So our Category 3 race field now being caught. Just 6 riders clear up the road. And they are clear up the road, but they are not a long way up the road. They are 500 metres up the road now. So Bauer pushing on and pushing on strongly. There's a gap now back to Brogan and Garioni. And Gilson is the one suffering here. It's looking like Rebecca Gilson is the rider getting caught out here on this climb today. So Bauer pushing. Brogan in 2, Garioni in 3. In fact, Brogan and Garioni working together here with Bauer just a small few seconds up the front. Gilson is the rider who has been caught out here from this pack, and Gilson now having to push on if she wants to make that catch and push on strongly, because otherwise 1, 2, 3 have gone down the road. So Rebecca Gilson continuing to push. Bauer, Brogan and Garioni are indeed down the road. Bauer is pushing on and pushing on strongly at the front of this Category 1 race. Brogan is the rider in 2, Garioni in 3, and Gilson here has been gapped from them, and Gilson currently in 4. The race for 5th is a long way back down the road. The race for 5th is over a minute back. But Moreno is probably the one in that 5th position, and then a lot further back down the road is that chasing group. So Jojo Bauer is the rider pushing on, and she's pushing on really strongly here today on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. We are on the January finals today. Bauer climbing really strongly here today, setting this pace, a strong and consistent pace coming out from Bauer, and really working well for her today on this climb. So the lead group of riders on this race field today are our Category 3 riders. They are on the right-hand side of your screen at 29.73 kilometres. They are around 400 metres ahead of Jojo Bauer, our lead Category 1 rider in that race today. So Golden Light currently leading this race. Illustra in 2, Foroni in 3, Barco in 4, Lopez in 5. Those 5 riders are the 5 riders leading this Category 3 race, and they are the lead riders on the road at the moment. Jojo Bauer, our lead rider on the left-hand side of your screen in that Category 1 race field, pushing on strongly and climbing really well today. She's climbing strongly. She's 300 metres now back from Golden Light. So Brogan now 10 seconds back from Bauer. There's a 10-second gap separating Bauer and Brogan. There's a 10-second gap separating Brogan and Garioni. So these riders now, this group of what was 5 on this climb, went to 4, went to 3, is now just individual riders working their own way up this climb. Now Garioni is not over. Garioni is kicking hard, and she's kicking strongly behind. She wants to close that gap to Brogan, and she's really pushing. Brogan is seeing the charge coming from behind. Brogan is pushing on strongly. Now Bauer is setting a strong tempo up ahead. Brogan is working, and now we're starting to see riders settle into their own pace. There's still 5 kilometres until we get to the final stages of this race. Gilson A little bit further back down the field now, 100 metres behind Garioni, setting her own tempo as well. So this climb today, asking riders to set their own tempo to ensure that they get to the top of that climb. It's a consistent and fairly steady climb. There are some segments that are a little bit steeper, getting to around 8 or 9%, but often segments sitting at around 4 to 5%, allowing a tempo to be sat at and the power just to continue to push out of these riders. So these riders setting a strong time trialing tempo up this climb. So Jojo Bauer sporting that red and white striped cap today, leading out this Category 1 race field on the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club January final. She's got a gap, and that gap is 15 seconds over Brogan in 2. Further 10 seconds back to Garioni in 3, and up ahead of Bauer are the lead riders on the road at the moment, and that is our Category 3 race field. So Lopez is the next rider Bauer has in sights, and Bauer is going to move into 5th position overall once she catches and takes Lopez. Fioroni will be the next rider in front of Lopez, only 3 seconds down the road. So Bauer now working her way strongly up this climb, about to catch riders in 4th and 5th position in that Category 3 race field. So Bauer goes past Fioroni and Lopez, the 2 Category 3 riders. Just 3 Category 3 riders now ahead of Bauer on this course today. So Bauer is into the last 4.5 kilometres of this climb. Up ahead, we can see just about to take that left-hand bend and disappear out of sight, Barco and our leading Category 3 race field. About 100 metres behind Bauer, Brogan sitting comfortably in 2nd position in that Category 1 race field, about to come up herself onto Lopez and Fioroni, and then come past to make her 5th rider currently on the road today. Garioni a little further back, Gilson the rider behind her. So this Category 1 race field completely decimated by this climb. So Bauer continuing to tap on those pedals, a consistent and strong pace regardless of the gradient. She's just about to come past Barco. Illustra is in sight, and Golden Light is just a little bit further down the road now. Golden Light climbing very strongly today and putting in a superb performance in this Category 3 race. Illustra working really well, but she will be the next rider in Bauer's sights. As Golden Light, you can see there on the right-hand side of your screen, just over 100 metres further up the road than Bauer. So Golden Light hanging on to the race lead at the moment. Our Category 4 riders started first today, then our Category 3, then Category 2, then Category 1. And Bauer, now the lead rider in that Category 1 race, has passed the entire race fields other than Golden Light, our lead rider in this Category 3 race and lead rider on the road at the moment. So Bauer continues to work her way and work her way strongly up this climb. Shortly as she takes this left-hand bend, she will see Golden Light in her sights, but these bends are helping Golden Light stay out of sight of Jojo Bauer at the moment, and that is all to the benefit of Light, because if you are not seen, there is less motivation to chase and chase hard. As soon as you get to see that rider in your vision and in your sight, the motivation to chase really picks up. So Bauer 20 seconds back at the moment off of Light. Illustra in Second place in that Category 3 race, Barco in third place, currently separating Bauer and Brogan 1 and 2 in that Category 1 race. So this ride really taking it, this climb, should I say, really taking it out of all of these race fields today. And this climb, this 10-kilometer climb, really showing who had the legs for it today. So Golden Light pushing on and in the lead in this Category 3 race, Illustra and Barco in 2 and 3, and Lopez in 4. Bauer in the lead of this Category 1 race, Brogan in 2, Garioni in 3, and Gilson in 4. These riders are all riding individually up this climb. This climb has completely separated these race fields. So no pack sprint today on the January final of the MyWhoosh Sunday Race Club. Bauer pushes on this climb. She is the lone leader in this Category 1 race. Brogan is chasing, but the gap back to Brogan is strong. And has Bauer now done enough to take the win today? So Golden Light continues to push, but Bauer will soon have her in her sights as we drop back in with Brogan. Brogan is the second rider in this Category 1 race today. She's 150 metres down on Bauer. So Bauer establishing a lead now of 150 metres on Brogan. We've got just over 3 kilometres still to go in this race. So that is some gap now being established by Bauer. 150 metres, I think, is too much for Brogan to respond to, but who knows what is going to happen on the latter stages of this climb today. So Bauer now has Light ahead of her. She can see her in this sights on this long, straight section of climb. An added motivation now for Bauer to make this catch as Golden Light is pushing hard and she's pushing strongly, trying desperately to stay ahead for as long as possible and hold the race lead. But Bauer is coming and Bauer is continuing to push. Bauer leading this Category 1 race from Brogan, but Brogan is still working strongly behind. The gap back to Brogan holding at around 20 seconds. Brogan putting in a massive effort in this climb today to ensure that she stays at least second in this race, if not catches Bauer. Can Brogan catch Bauer? She's got 2.8 kilometres to do it. So Brogan has ridden really strongly throughout January, but Bauer is a consummate professional and she knows how to pace and she knows how to ride these climbs and ride these climbs well. Bauer now coming up onto Light's wheel. Light having held the race lead for a long time now. She will still maintain that lead in Category 3. She's leading from Illustra and Barco in that Category 3 race. So Bauer comes up onto Light's wheel and pushes on as Light says, no, I'm staying out as long as possible. Light kicks as hard as she can, but Bauer says, sorry, it's mine and I am going past. Golden Light is having none of it. Wow, what a time to see a Category 3 rider push and dig as deep as possible to stay with the Category 1 race leader. Surely Golden Light cannot hold that pace much longer, and she is going to have to bow to the power of Bauer on that climb. Brogan a little bit further back. She's 100 metres behind, you know. Brogan is doing a brilliant ride back here. She's pushing on and pushing on hard. And whilst Light and Bauer play with each other at the front of that race, Brogan is digging in and Brogan is pushing on. So Brogan in 2 in that Category 1 race. Garioni in 3. As we see Bauer kick now on this corner and Light now drop back. So our Category 3 race leader, do you know, she dug in deep and she tried. But Bauer now moving on and moving past and into the race leader on the road. So Bauer leading our Category 1 race, and now race leader on the road today. Brogan in second place in that Category 1 race field, 15 seconds back. She's closing that gap to Bauer, but she's doing it slowly. And will she run out of road, or will she have enough of the climb left to make that catch today? So Jojo Bauer with under 2 kilometres now of this race to go. Brogan in 2 in this Category 1 race field. Golden Light our lead in that Category 3 race field, separating our 2 riders at the moment. Gary Oney in 3 in that race. So let's take a look. Category segment number 7. So finished at 33 kilometres, a 5-kilometre segment here. Bauer completing it in 15 minutes and 30 seconds, our fastest rider through that segment so far. 20 seconds slower Gemma Brogan, 37 seconds slower Gary Oney. That is the 1, 2, 3 in the Category 1 race field. Golden Light, while she dug in with Bauer and didn't want to let her pass, she's 2 minutes 51 slower over that 5K segment than the leader in that Category 1 race. And Illustra, our second placed rider in that Category 3 race. Back 3 minutes 23 seconds. So whilst we see our riders now moving through into the latter stages of this climb, Jojo Bauer has pushed on. She's extended that lead out now to about 25 seconds, but the gradients continue to change and the steeper segments bring it back, and the lower gradient segments run that distance out again. So Bauer and Brogan pushing on and pushing on hard. Gilson a little bit further back down the road now, but Gilson is pushing on. Gary Oney is the rider, and we're seeing the riders come now from behind as Estrada, Marin, Del Rocco and Oliveri are the riders now lining up behind Gilson in that Category 1 race. So Brogan pushing on, second position in that Category 1 race at the moment. And indeed, we're seeing that chase come hard from behind, because Oliveri, Del Rocca, Estrada, Marin, Menendez and Gary Oney all faster up the climb than Gilson. In fact, over a minute faster than Gilson up the climb. So the riders coming in that Category 1 race from behind are pulling in Gilson at the moment, and we might be seeing a changes in positions when we come to 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th in that Category 1 race today. So Bauer 20 seconds in the lead now into the last kilometre of racing today. Brogan now just over 100 metres behind in second place, just past Golden Light, who is our lead rider in that Category 3 race. Gary Oney is third position on the road today in this Category 1 race, and she is about 20 seconds behind Brogan. Then it's Gilson, followed by Estrada and Del Rocco. Those riders coming up behind. Illustra is our second place rider in the Category 3 race, who is still in the mix with these riders on the road today. So Jojo Bauer with 500 metres to go now in this race today. She's pushing on, and she's pushing on strongly. And I think Bauer has done enough. I think Bauer is going to take this unless something dramatic happens, because riders coming behind, and we are in with Gary Oney. She's placed third. Brogan is in second. Brogan is now looking at nearly 200 metres behind Bauer, as Bauer comes in with 250 metres left to go. So Brogan pushes on. She's in second position, but Bauer here is pushing hard. She's continuing to push. So Bauer leading out the Women's Sunday Race Cup January final here today. She is coming up for 100 metres to go. She can see the finish banner in front of her. This has been a 10-kilometre Category 1 climb, and Bauer has shown us how to ride it from the start. So Bauer pushes on. She's got 50 metres till she gets to the finish banner. She has ridden clear of Brogan, Garioni, Gilson and Estrada. Brogan is in second at the moment, but Bauer is going to take the win here today. Bauer takes the win on the January final. So Bauer takes the win. Brogan is pushing hard and Brogan is kicking hard behind. Brogan is kicking hard because she wants second place as Brogan comes across the line for second place in that Category 1 race. Garioni is pushing on here, and it's looking like there is a tough race going on behind because Garioni is pushed on here. Garioni continues to push. Estrada is looking like she's taken Gilson. Estrada and Oliveri have come over the top of Gilson, and Gilson was in fourth place in this race today, but fourth place is gone now for Gilson as Estrada is storming through for this finish today. So Estrada is coming up. She's coming up hard. She's got 500 metres to go. We've got Bauer, Brogan and Garioni in. That's the 1, 2, 3 in the Category 1 race. Golden Light has taken the win in the Category 3 race. But who is going to finish fourth in Category 1? So Estrada pushes on. Oliveri is coming too. Marin is in here as well. Menendez and Del Rocco, they have had a storming climb today as they came in as a large pack at the bottom, having had an easier run in. Estrada, Oliveri, Marin, Menendez and Del Rocco are fighting it out in this last 150 metres. So with 100 metres to go, Estrada pushes on for fourth place in this Category 1 race. Oliveri is pushing hard. Oliveri is kicking. Oliveri is coming at 11 watts per kilo. Estrada is going to hang on for fourth. Oliveri is going to get fifth. What a climb in this women's Category 1 race. And it is indeed this climb that has taken the individual standings in this race. So let's take a look here at where we are in this finish today. So Jojo Bauer time trialing her way up that climb and to the win in 1 hour and 7 minutes today. Brogan closing that gap to 12 seconds in 2. Garioni 13 seconds back in 3. It was all change further down the pack because Estrada and Oliveri put in a storming climb to take 4th and 5th today. Marin in 6th, Menendez in 7th, and Del Rocco taking 8th today. Illustra coming in for 2nd place in that Category 3 race today. So just on your screen now, we are seeing the leading rider in that Category 2 race. It's Montoya who's going to take the win in Category 2. As Montoya comes over the line, it's going to be Manuela Sanchez from Kokkonen and Tijeros in that Category 2 race. So our race fields coming together today, and Montoya taking that Category 2 race from Sanchez, from Kokkonen and from Tijeros. So we've seen the race fields come through in Category 1, Category 2 and Category 3 today. And for all of the race results and for the verified final results in that team competition, head over to the MyWhoosh.com website and you will find that all in the results section today. Wow, what racing we have just seen in all of our categories on that final climb in Arabia today. So don't forget to check out those race results on mywhoosh.com. You can also follow MyWhoosh across all the social media platforms, and you can find me at Biking Emma on Instagram as well. So what a finish to January we have just seen. It's been an absolute pleasure putting words to the action. From me, Emma Martin, and all the team at MyWhoosh, stay safe, enjoy your riding, and we'll see you for the start of the February racing. Goodbye.